Radio Cayman. And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning. It's 27 minutes until 8 o'clock. Thank you so much for tuning in to Radio Cayman this morning and the Business Buzz. Today, on the first segment of the Buzz, we have as our guest Mr. Ralph Ruiz. He is a CEO, publisher of Caymanian Times, and he's here to share some helpful tips for small businesses, as well as to talk about some features of the Friday edition of the newspaper. At 8:15, we'll welcome representatives from Water Authority-Cayman. Ralph, good morning. Good to have you join us.
Good morning.
You're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yes. Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year to you. I haven't spoken to you since last year. No. Susan, good morning. Susan is a producer of the Business Buzz. And Susan, I haven't seen you since last year, Ralph. But good to have you in the studio today.
It's always good to be here.
You're always an early rise anyway.
Yes.
So we Susan she knows how to pull you in, get Ralph in here, he's early, he's always on time. Ralph, good to have you here. This morning you're going to share some tips, some helpful tips for small businesses.
Yes. When she called yesterday, he said, okay, can you come in this morning? I said, of course, it's my pleasure to come in and share information with you, the listeners.
You're always ready, Ralph.
Yep. You have to have your finger on the pulse.
That's right.
And running a business, you have to have this information handy. And what we decided to speak about today was customer loyalty and customer retention. Mm-hmm. How to keep customers loyal, and that's why we said we'll have some discussion on that topic today.
Yeah, and let's start off by asking Ralph, in what ways can small and medium businesses retain that customer loyalty and confidence?
Yes. Well, it's not only small and medium, but all businesses need to be able to retain the customers.
Big ones deal with them, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And yes, many people feel that large businesses don't have to pay attention. Mm-hmm. You have to pay twice as much.
True.
The bigger you are, the harder you fall. So you have to pay more attention to the business.
Yes.
And a lot of my skills I learned while I was at the bank, years ago. But customers are important for any business because that's how you get your revenues. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who pay your bills.
That's right.
And that's why you are there. If you have no customers, you better close down. Because without customers, you're not doing anything. A business functions because with customers. So it's important to know that your market share is still growing and it's stable. Because that's how you can measure how your business is doing. Mm-hmm. Same customers are buying from you every day or paying for your services. So how do you get their loyalty and how do you retain them? Because if you get a lot of customers today and they go next week, you might have to close down or get new customers. And so that's why we said, okay, how do you do that? And the key is to gain their confidence by the level of service that you give. Many companies can sell the same products, but it's the way you do it. It's this level of service that you offer. And that is what makes people feel good coming to buy from you. Also, your price point. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, in the Cayman Islands, we have destroyed our price point. Everything is overpriced. And one of the reasons is once you go up, you can't go back down easily because we have had an opportunity to get away with pricing things out of our range. Mm-hmm. There are things where, you couldn't realize how so expensive to do business in Cayman. Well, years ago, things were going well. There was no unemployment. People made a lot of money. And so the businesses marked up their goods by maybe 15, 20, 40% sometimes. And so the prices were at level. But we were okay. We could have paid for it.
Right.
Now things are different. But it's hard to come down because your business have now adjusted to paying those big salaries and having that nice building and so on. So the price point is important. The price point is where you charge for your goods. And so if your price point is too high, you will lose the confidence of your customers, your loyalty. They're going to look for something elsewhere.
Yeah, you say markup 40%. Well, some people mark up as high as 110%.
Exactly.
They go as high as that.
Exactly. And the business...
But then again, you have to think about the price of the goods. I mean, to defense,
Of course.
freight on board, things like shipping charges when you get here, duties, even warehouse charge, trucking to your business if you don't have your own truck. I mean, it will all add up at the end of the day.
Yes.
But then again, like you say, you have to manage that markup so that you don't kill your customers
Exactly.
and get rid of them.
That's correct. And so what happened in my industry, media, as you know, the business comes from advertising. And I started looking at newspapers years ago before I got into business, and there was lots of ads. And now there are not many ads going in there. So I started asking, what's happening? And know what they said? It's cheaper to go on Facebook and cheaper to lose other means, go on the radio.
Well, we have
because
that. No, but we have that with traditional radio. We have that as well. Yes. We can advertise on IG. We've got Facebook, all these social media platforms.
So why would I pay so much money for a newspaper ad when I can do it elsewhere? That money can be used elsewhere, especially now. And so they look for other options. And that's why the newspaper advertising has sort of reduced. Now, I flew to my advisors in Miami Herald, and said, guys, what do I do? They said, what's your price points? Price points? Okay. When I told them, they were shocked. They said, guys, we have 40,000 readers and we're charging half of what you're charging for a full page ad. So right away, I knew we had a problem in Cayman. Now, how do you fix that price point to give the customers that? It's hard because, of course, your expenses are not related to the price that you're charging because you have your bills to pay.
Correct.
So therefore, if you pay high salaries because of the money you're making, it's going to be extremely difficult to adjust your prices. Well, you know how I started? It was a one-man operation. So I was the one that was working. So I was able to not pay myself or pay myself very little and have a very small. So I'm not able to adjust my price point. So therefore, businesses have to find a way of adjusting the price point to maintain their customer loyalty. There's some customers will pay.
There got to be some tip in there that they can do, that they can use.
Yes, some customers might say, okay, well, I'm going to support you still because I want you to stay in business. But at the end of the day, you should stay in business because you're pricing your goods properly. Therefore, you can afford, you get a profit from your expenses. And that's what you have to find at that point now. How can you give your customers value for money and still maintain your profitability? And so that is a little more looking at your operational costs, looking at your pricing, where you source your goods. Understand, Cayman is now going to go to Panama. There may be goods coming to Cayman cheaper. You have to look at your market. I had to stop printing locally and print in Florida because I'm paying 10 times less. So therefore, you have to find
even though
ways,
you have to ship it back in.
Even though I support Cayman Airways, they fly in twice a week. But at the end of the day, I'm paying customs duty.
Do you pay duty on newspaper?
No.
It's
printed newspaper
is duty free.
Is duty free, but there's a custom charge for the warehouse cost.
Right.
But the thing is that I had to find a cheaper way of doing it so I could pass on that savings to my clients. So coming back to customer loyalty, by finding ways of reducing the cost of your goods, by seeing how you run your business, and by being more efficient. And coming on here over the years, people have said, Ralph, I've listened to you, I've heard how you've done your business, and you have our interest at heart. You're saving us money by making money too. So that's how you get customer loyalty, because you're not only thinking about you making a lot of profits, you're thinking about how can they afford to continue to give you.
And besides all of that, Ralph, you're a good all-rounder. You've been in the banking business, you're in the journalism business, and you're a good all-rounder. So you're like God. You see everything.
I'm not God. I'm a child of God.
You see everything. You see everything.
You have to be diverse, and you be able to diversify, and you wear many hats.
No, let's talk about some operational procedure. Businesses, they need to be thinking about operational procedures and technology as well.
Okay, and that's my expertise. I was head of operations. My role was service delivery, which included operational efficiency and service. That was what I did in the bank over the years. And so because of my training in that and my experience, I was able to look at operational efficiency closely. And that is so important to the successful business. Many times we forget about operational efficiency. That means you're operating at a reasonable cost. You have to understand what it costs for you to run your business. If you don't know that, forget it, close down. But it's a cost of running a business, and that cost must be able to help with the pricing of your goods. If you don't want the cost to sell an apple, and at the end of the day, when you pay your staff and sell and buy the apple for it to be sold, and you're losing money, you have a problem. So you have to look at operational efficiency, and that's where you look at the cost of your expenses, the level of the expenses, and how to reduce that cost. So operating efficiently can help you succeed. And operating efficiently means using technology, using equipment. For example, if you're running a taxi service, you may want to switch from gasoline to a diesel because you use diesel a lot less, or depending on the price of gas, or you might want to have a bus that's not as expensive as another one. So you have to look at your equipment, your technology. Unfortunately, there's sometimes when technology replaces people doing certain things. But what we did when we introduced technology in banking, where you didn't have to key in all the transactions, but you just scan the transaction, we use those people on our front lines, increase our service. So yes, you're going to find ways to improve operational efficiency by using technology and equipment to do those roles. But that's part of the game. You have to change with time and always look at reducing your expenses, and that is tied into operational efficiency.
And change. Well, and not only that, it for sustainability too of your business.
Of course. So definitely
on the long term. Now, Ralph, you're talking about technology. We're moving away from cash.
Yes.
Cold hard cash. We're going straight on online payments.
Yes.
I mean, I love my own paying by cash, even though But so small business especially have to cater to that.
Yes.
To online payments
Yes.
and stuff like that.
You have to, and that's something that we worked on years ago. The penetration of online banking is very slow, unfortunately, in the Cayman Islands, and we tried to increase that when I was in the bank, because we need to have everybody move away from walking around with cash in their hands. It's expensive to manage a cash operation. It's dangerous, especially now. People are committing crimes. They have robberies. The debit card is available. The ATMs are there. So we need to move away from a cash environment and go to more online environment. It's easy. Just that some of us are afraid of technology.
Yeah.
But we have to.
It took me a while.
We have to get over that mindset. And I don't believe the banks are doing enough to educate our people, to encourage it. I think and we have some real good campaigns for like a year pushing that, because we have to get to the point where we reduce our dependency on cash and people start walking with all the cash.
Ralph, we've got to take a quick break. I want to say thank you very much to our sponsor, Cayman Insurance Center. And, of course, to you, Ralph, for stepping in this morning. Thank you, sir.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Commissioner Hurst was noted for many achievements during his tenure, including the increase in road infrastructure, the establishment of the Government Savings Bank, and the modernization of the police force, amongst others. However, he was equally noted for his abrasive demeanor and conflicts with the local vestrymen. This conflict came to a head in November 1909 during the meeting of the magistrates and vestry. C.J.H. Goring, an appointed justice from Barbados who settled in Grand Cayman in 1901, publicly challenged Commissioner Hurst and complained of his behavior. Not to be outmatched, however, the commissioner responded, and upon adjournment of the session, he lectured the assembly, telling them that the attack by Justice Goring was an insult to his office. He further admonished Mr. Goring and his followers to, quote, fear God and honor the king. Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
It's all about humanity. It will be Saturday, March 4th, the 11th annual Rotary Central Health Check, the almost island-wide Rotary Health Screening. See us at Foster's Republic's West Bay, Cost You Less at Governor Square, West Bay Road, A.L. Thompson's Georgetown, Foster's at Countryside in Savannah, Bordentown, from 10 a.m. through 2 p.m. Take advantage of a free mini medical, a physician's check on your blood pressure, your A1C, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, your healthy weight evaluation, and more. The 11th annual Rotary Central Health Check in conjunction with the Health Services Authority. Saturday, March 4. Save this date that could save your life. Rotary, all the good you imagine.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is our first segment. In the studio, we have Mr. Ralph Ruiz. Ralph is the CEO of the Caymanian Times newspaper. Ralph, we're talking business. Now, customer list. How important is it for businesses to have that customer list?
It is key. You need to know who your customers are. And it may be hard to get a full customers list. There's some companies that actually sell customer lists. But you have to compile a customer list, and you have to know the market that you're in. So from based on your invoice system, you have a list of customers that you build on a regular basis. That's part of your customer list. Now you have to understand which are your regular customers and which are the ones that are one-off here and there. Then you also look at the market. Who else is in the market that should be on your customer list? Who else uses their competition? And you have to look at competing to try and get the customer list to where it is a good, strong customer list. Now, you can't get everyone. And so, therefore, you need to at least get at least 60% of the market share. That's about 60% of those customers who are going to buy your product. So that customer list is key in getting to that number. So I have one of my staff actually every Friday looks at the customers in the marketplace and see how well we are doing. If you are reducing in that list, then you need to work on in growing that list.
You've got to pound the pavement, Ralph.
And you can't be satisfied with just your list. You want to grow. I was talking to Mr. Lux earlier. If you're growing, it's a good thing. It may be a very small growth, but it's growth. And so therefore, your customer list has to grow as well.
Yeah, I'm in sales, so you know how that is, right?
Of course.
It's hard work. A lot of people don't realize how much hard work it is, but it's hard work. But, you know, whenever you get a new client, it's like, yes, you know, and you got to hold on for their life. Yes. But it's the same thing for businesses on the whole. Yeah.
One mistake that businesses make after they get the customer, they forget about them. You have to keep the customer. So forget about going for the new customer if you can't keep the old one.
I absolutely agree.
Many times you go off in your customer, when you come back, the old one is gone.
Yep.
You have to massage that relationship and continue to give that good and extra service for the existing customer base while you build a new one. So don't throw away the old for the new because you need them. And that's what a lot of businesses forget. Oh, that's my customer, I can forget about them. No, you have to keep calling them, romancing them, make sure that they are loyal.
You romance them. No, something I want to talk about for a couple of seconds. Ralph, my pet peeve is going into a business and you have those, say, not a teller, people who are collecting money, for instance, any business, insurance company, wherever you're paying your bill. Yes. And sometimes, you know, you're paying and they don't look up at you. I That's my pet peeve. If I'm paying you money, I'm paying. Look at me. Say thank you when you're finished. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm always the one saying thank you. You should be thanking me for for dealing with your business. So, what do you think about that?
Eye contact is key to any customer service relationship. And you could call a personal relationship customer service if you want to. But eye contact is so good. But many people are afraid to have eye contact.
Why is that? Why is that so?
We are shy. Human beings tend to be shy people. We're shy. We hate to look at someone's eyes. So here's a tip. Don't look at the eye. Look at your nose. Look at their nose. Look at their nose. But they don't know the difference between that. So how to get eye contact? Look at someone's nose. And that's where it starts. You need to be able to look at someone's eye and speak to them. And if they're interacting with you, you have to communicate. It's part of communication. But we need to teach it to our staff at the front line. If you're communicating with someone, you have to say, good morning, look at them in the face, good morning, how are you, how can I help you? And they're so important to you because they're your customers, as we spoke about. So what you're saying is correct. Eye contact is important. They have to interact with you by looking at you, not keeping the head down. But that's a training aspect.
Yeah, and sometimes some of the folks, they have their head, you know, they have their phone in the air and all that. And it's just annoying, you know.
I totally agree.
It's just annoying. But Ralph, why should we buy local? And in the same token, how does the pricing of, we talked about pricing earlier, the pricing of goods factor into all of this?
Well, to answer your question, I'm just going to switch to the headline on my paper on Friday, or the front page story, has a picture of the premier, and he is saying Cayman's growth is among the best. And that's what he said at Chamber of Commerce.
Unfortunately, I didn't read that article.
And it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh,
so you get tomorrow's paper. You can't miss it.
I have to get a copy, right?
It has the premier's picture on the front page, and it says, Premier, Cayman's growth among the best. How do you grow if you don't support your local business? If you support the business in Panama, or if you support the business in Miami or elsewhere, they're going to grow. They're going to have the growth.
Yeah.
So therefore, to answer your question, for your economy to grow, your people to grow, your businesses to grow, you have to support local. It's nice to jump on a plane and go to Miami, and you might save maybe $25 going to the mall and have a nice experience. But think of your economy, where you're going to come to work. If you work for someone, that someone has to pay bills someplace. So why not support your own? And money don't disappear. It goes in circles.
That's right.
So you keep that circle in Ireland, because I pay you, you pay your bills, a person pays me.
That's right.
If you take that money overseas, there's money being lost from the economy. And so therefore, if you want us to grow as a country and be successful and continue to pay good wages and get people homes that they can live in, we need to support our local economy. And that's the benefit of it. It's not about saving $25 by going overseas. That's just an excuse, if you ask me.
And Ralph,
we need to support local. But of course, the pricing, the price point is so key, because we have priced ourselves out the market.
Yeah.
And this is where the topic about pricing is so important. We need to come back down. Those people, the stores now, have a job to look at their price points and see how we price out the market and make it low enough so people can want to support us.
You know, by the same token, you have people who are sending money home, all that money going to different countries. They're building their economy. And,
of course,
you know, by not spending it here, we're losing out. But then you can't stop that, right?
Well, that's why
something we've got to, you know.
People migrate to other countries so they can help their country. And that's normal. I mean, there's the story about 34,000 people here from overseas. And we have to understand that that's how we survive. But we need them here because we are a service economy. And construction need people, like tourist industry. So they have to come here to work because we need them here. But at the same time, they should be they should be renting our properties, they should be buying our food, they should be shopping here. And at the end of the day, at least part of that should stay here. So as a matter of fact, you look at it, some of those people spend more here than other people who live here.
And I have to put the buzz on the business buzz too, because this service that Radio Cayman provides to the Cayman community is vital.
Yes.
And waking up 4 o'clock in the morning is not easy to come and do this. But and Susan, right, Susan? But you know what? We love it because we are giving back to the community.
Yes.
This is where if you promote your business here on Radio Cayman,
Yes.
on the Business Buzz,
Yes.
everybody's hearing about your business.
Yes,
Hopefully
exactly.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
But the business stays here. You know,
You have
you don't have to jump on Amazon, buy and ship in and all that. Business stays here.
Many businesses don't advertise, and the excuse is cost too much. If I don't know what you're selling, I can't buy from you.
That's right. That's right.
So we have to find ways of getting information to the people, and the Business Buzz is a good way of getting business coming here for no cost and able to talk about what they do. So that's why the Business Buzz is so critical and has to be here for a while, and so therefore for the future, because the local economy needs that support from people living here. But like I just said, if I don't know what you're selling, I can't support you.
That's
I
right.
know so, and that's why advertising
Ralph,
locally is important.
I don't know where the time is flying to. Susie, you better hold it back because we got a whole lot more to talk about.
Next time.
But
Next time.
what do you think customers expect from a business, Ralph?
Customers want trust, loyalty, and one thing we didn't get to go into was the level of trust that that the customers have in you. They want to know that you're going to be around for a while. You're not just there and then you're going to leave next year. They want to know that you're going to be there. You have their interest at heart. You want to make sure they get the best products, the best service. So that's what customers are looking for, basically.
No, Ralph, let's switch gears for a couple of seconds here because I know you're out of time. But you know what? You're in the business. You're in the newspaper business. You got some juicy stories that you can expect in tomorrow's edition, right? No, folks, make sure you grab a copy. It's still free, right, Ralph?
It's free online.
Free online.
Yes, and actually the paper is actually up on the website right now.
Okay.
At Caymanian.ky. You can click on the e-version and it's for free. There's no subscription required. And you'll see the paper there. You can download it. You can read the paper.
And your print edition, what do you have?
It's
Monday?
flying in on the plane this afternoon. It'll be out in the supermarkets this afternoon.
Okay, so
and that's for only 50 cents.
Okay, and that's your Friday edition. So you do Friday and
Right now.
Wednesdays now.
Friday
and Wednesdays now. Great. Now, what can we expect from Caymanian Times for this year, Ralph?
Well, the main story is the Premier's speech at the Chamber of Commerce, Cayman's growth among the best. We have an editorial on the price of progress, talking about what the expat workers contribute to the island. Of course, Cayman and Bay got an award because of the new buildings. We also have the cruise ship schedule, tell what cruise ships are coming next week, and we do it every Friday. Also, we have the gas prices in the back.
Nice.
And then we do have the death announcements. People love that. Plus a lot of other local stories. And number one seller is the cartoons and games.
I love the cartoons and games. Where are you located, Ralph?
We are still at Walker's Road, number 19. It's 916-2000 or 945-8463 or info@caymaniantimes.ky. Or check our Facebook page. It's right there. Or go to our website, caymaniantimes.ky.
Ralph, thank you so much for popping by Radio Cayman this morning. Thanks for coming on such short notice and waking up so early to get here, to fight traffic to get here. All the best with Caymanian Times and keep it rocking, Ralph.
Thank you, Susan.
And we still DJing, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I can ask you that, right?
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much, Ralph. Thanks to our sponsor, Cayman Insurance Center. And don't forget, after around 8:15 or so, we'll welcome representatives from Authority-Cayman.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrack and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Two men get into a brawl inside a vehicle and end up crashing it. Police say around 2:40 Wednesday, they were called out to investigate the serious assault and collision on West Church Street in West Bay. According to the report, the two men were traveling in a vehicle when one assaulted the other, with the altercation escalating and ultimately ending in a crash. One man is under arrest. Both men were carried to the Cayman Hospital for treatment. Caymanian students Abigail Rose and Diamond White are named the Government High School Scholars. The Ministry of Education recognized the two 2022 John Gray High School alumni during a presentation ceremony at the Grand Cayman Marriott Beach Resort Wednesday evening. The pair will each receive a scholarship valued at up to $100,000 per year to support them in pursuing overseas undergraduate tertiary studies. The scholars were selected from government schools' graduating class of 2022. And organizers of this year's Cocoa Fest are encouraging residents to shop local at some 30 vendors, new and old. Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego reports. 247118.
Tourism Attraction Board TAB Director Patrick Thompson says the 8th annual Cocoa Fest is another outlet for entrepreneurs to promote and sell their locally made products, but emphasizing the precious coconut fruit. The event began in 2016 and created a way to celebrate the Caymanian coconut and to preserve its ties to Caymanian culture and heritage. The festival, which also highlights local cottage industry business, is about remembering a time when the coconut industry was vital in Cayman. Cocoa Fest also supports the shop local culture by creating a space for small businesses to showcase and sell their artwork, traditional foods and products made from coconut oil or some part of the coconut plant. Some 30 vendors and demonstrators have signed on this year. Visitors can look forward to an array of locally cooked foods, produce, games, beauty products, and an arts and crafts corner hosted by the Visual Arts Society. There will also be live entertainment by Missy Issy, Cayman Islands Dance Company, and Pan and Rhythm Steel Band. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
It all happens on February 18th from noon until 6 p.m. at Pedro St. James. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The Belarusian leader, Alexander Lukashenko, has told the BBC he's ready to allow Russia to use his country again to attack Ukraine. A year ago, President Putin sent troops through Belarus in his failed attempt to capture Kyiv. Turkey's foreign minister says Sweden still hasn't done enough to stop Kurdish terrorism. His government insists it won't let the Nordic country join NATO until the problem is solved. The head of the alliance, Jens Stoltenberg, is holding talks in Ankara. Just over a week before elections in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has attempted to ease a severe cash shortage. The introduction of new banknotes has led to growing unrest. Mr. Buhari has now extended the deadline for old notes to be handed in by 60 days. Police in Australia say the killing of 2 constables last December was a religiously motivated terrorist attack by Christian fundamentalists. A senior policewoman said the ambush in Queensland was planned. South Korea's government has described the North as an enemy for the first time in several years. The term is used in Seoul's latest defence white paper, which examines its neighbours' military capabilities. Ethiopia's Orthodox Church has announced the end of a split in its ranks, which had led to deadly violence. The church said 3 archbishops in the Oromia region would be reinstated after being excommunicated last month. A teenage girl has been found alive in the rubble of a building in Turkey, more than 10 days since it was flattened by earthquakes. Rescuers gently prized the 17-year-old from the ruins. A letter written more than a century ago has finally been delivered to a flat in London. The note is inside an envelope dated 1916. The British Postal Service says it's uncertain what happened. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
It's almost here. The return of the Cayman Islands Agriculture Show, 54 years strong, is happening Ash Wednesday, February 22nd. Get your raffle tickets to win $20,000. Visit them on Facebook or CaymanAgriculture.com.
Radio Cayman News.
Concerns last night's public meeting about the east-west arterial extension.
If there can be a solution found that is less damaging to our central mangrove wetland system.
Several of the routes will be skirting the mangrove.
It has to be more valuable to our country to protect it than to go build a road in there.
I really think for the first meeting it was really good.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Hey, Bill, glad to see you back in the office.
Who?
Bill.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
Tom.
Nope.
Jack.
No.
Alex.
No. Want me to just tell you?
Nope, I got this, George.
No, you don't. Still not me.
Adam.
Not even close, man.
We're like a coworker that didn't forget your name. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Okay, good to see you, Mike John Sean.
It's Mordecai.
Good morning. Let's take a look this time at weather report. Current temperature is 78 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure is 30.00 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 6 knots. Overnight low temperature was 73 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system lingers over the western Atlantic Ocean. Radar images show isolated showers in the Cayman area which are moving towards the west-northwest. The forecast for today and tonight calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise to the mid-80s today and will fall to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 1:33, high tide this evening at 6:27. The sun will set this evening at 6:25 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:53. And the outlook is calling for a temporary decrease in winds on Friday as the high-pressure system moves further over the Atlantic Ocean, and with moderate winds returning Saturday morning as a second high-pressure system will move over the eastern United States. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Developing your emotional awareness can have profound effects on your life.
As Daniel Goleman said in his book entitled Emotional Intelligence, people who cannot marshal some control over their emotional life fight inner battles that sabotage their ability for focused work and clear thought, whereas people with well-developed emotional skills are more likely to be content and effective in their lives, mastering the habits of mind that foster their own productivity.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Authority-Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Authority-Cayman. Health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning. Let's take a look at our roads. Traffic is busy on the Linford-Pearson Highway and coming off of the Linford-Pearson Highway on Agnes Way. Delays expected. Busy traffic heading to Georgetown on Crew Road. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving along moderately. As we look to Godfrey-Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing pretty good. And light to moderate traffic flow on 8wood Street. Coming from the Westway 4-way stop, traffic is moderate. Steady traffic coming off of the Esley-Tibbetts Highway heading towards the Butterfield Roundabout. And on Northstown Road, traffic is moderate in both directions. That's what's happening on the roads. If you see any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. Have a good morning and drive safe.
When you're craving something big, something tasty that gives you that lip-smacking satisfaction, something that hits the spot, there is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
It's pretty tasty.
Filling and full of flavor. Try our new sweet onion steak teriyaki with a twist. Or the classic chicken teriyaki. Top it with green pepper, onions, cheese, and that sweet onion teriyaki sauce, all piled on your favorite artisanal bread. Satisfy that craving with a footlong from Subway.
Fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty.
Let's make it a meal with a drink, chips, and cookies. There is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Business Boss. Business Boss with your host, Anita Khan.
15 minutes after 8 o'clock. Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're into our second segment, and we'd like to welcome to the studio this time Water Authority representatives, Dr. Gelia Frederick Van Genderen. She's the director, and she's fondly known as Miss Gelia. And then we have Kodie Scott Sr. Kodie is a development control technologist, and he's also the 40th anniversary committee co-chair. We have Mrs. Edlyn Ruiz Stoll. Edlyn is the corporate communications officer, and she's also the 40th anniversary co-chair. And all those PSAs you hear about Water Authority and the voice behind that, it's Edlyn's. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to have you in the studio, Miss Gelia. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you here. I know you try to keep away as much as you can, but we won't let you today because it's special. It's a special time. 40th anniversary is a very long time.
It certainly is.
But Ms. Gelia, I'm going to pick on you a lot this morning.
Oh, boy, here we go.
So you know.
All right.
You have been with Water Authority from the inception, correct?
No, that's not quite correct. I've been associated and doing work with the Water Authority the 5 years prior to my joining the Water Authority.
Okay.
Because I started working with Department of Environmental Health in 1983. And that was as an environmental health technologist and responsible for testing water, wastewater. So I had a relationship then with the Water Authority as it was in its formative years, actually doing bacteriological testing for them.
Okay.
And then I joined the authority in 1988.
1988, and you've been there. So you work your way up the ranks.
Yep, I certainly did. I started off as operations scientist, which had responsibility for quality control for water, wastewater responsibilities in our lab. And then I went on to be deputy director and then director.
Ms. Gelia, I have to tell you, I'm always proud of the fact that you're a female and you're heading up such a wonderful, wonderful company.
Thank you very much, Anita. I have great staff. They're the ones that make it.
And I enjoyed my 1 year that I worked with Water Authority.
We enjoyed it too.
Now, can you share a little bit on the history of Water Authority-Cayman?
Okay, well, I'll give a little bit of the history. Well, the Water Authority actually started off as a project in the very late 70s and early 80s. At that time, development was starting to happen in Cayman, and then there was the issue, especially in Georgetown area, where there were concerns about the quality of groundwater. Because in those early days, people depended on groundwater or rainfall catching in their cisterns. And the folks at that time had the foresight to see that we needed to have make better preparations for public water supply in the Cayman Islands. There was already a private company that was providing public water supply in a smaller area along 7 Mile Beach, which is Cayman Water Company, which is now kind of known as also Consolidated Water. But the government saw the need, and in fact, part of my initial work in environmental health was assisting the Water Authority to collect the data on water quality that was needed to support some of these decisions that were being made. So 1981, I think, is when the project office really established itself. And from there on, there was a project director that was assigned. He originally worked in natural resources area with Dr. Giglioli, if you want to remember that, at MRCU. That was Richard Beswick. And he was actually very dynamic and very enthusiastic about developing the Water Authority. And along with, the government at the time, who were also very supportive, they started to make the Water Authority become a reality.
I remember those days because I've been here 41 years. So I remember that year with drinking from the well water.
Yeah, okay.
But it was good water still.
Yeah,
but you can't top water coming from Water Authority.
Yeah,
I drink it straight out the tap.
Oh gosh, I was so happy to have you turn on the tap and you have good water. In fact, I remember in 1988 when when the system in Georgetown was actually activated. I can't remember. I think it was around March 1988, and I lived on South Church Street at Reef House, and
you live next door to me.
Could you believe it?
I didn't know that. I live in a small Caymanian house.
Oh, I didn't realize
Victor's
that.
house. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We were neighbors and didn't know it. But anyway, so that was one of the areas that we had piped water. And I remember actually we used to do the chlorine residual, the checking there, to make sure what was going in. Because we didn't have the big lab at
the time.
Yeah, it was in process of being developed. Because I was, I think it was in March that I was appointed, but I had to work between environmental health and Water Authority for about 3 months because the young lady that was coming to replace me was still at university. And I couldn't, I didn't want to leave environmental health without what they needed to do. So I actually did 2 jobs for 3 months.
There you go. Double the experience, right?
A lot of fun.
No, like I said, I drink mine with just squeeze some lemon juice inside and drink my water. Or I boil it sometimes, But I have to say it's the best water coming out of the tap. I'm not saying this because you're in here, but because I feel it's the truth. You know, we go to the restaurant, you ask, you want bottled water? I'll take the tap water. Everybody look at you like, you drinking that? I'm like, yeah. Can I get a slice of lemon? I'm not sure what a lemon will do, but but it gives it a nice flavor. Now, can you bring us up to par on or up to speed on the Water Authority at present?
Okay.
Where we are.
Well, at present,
and how you've grown over the years.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, the first real office was on Maple Road, and I think it was in Maple House actually? It was a government.
What is now Maple House?
I think, yeah.
I think I remember.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But it was just a house, and government at that time had several. I think they had a few houses along that road which were used for various purposes. So one was assigned for the Water Authority's office, and I think there were about 5.
Humble beginnings.
5 employees.
Wow.
And one thing I must say that in setting up the office, the government also got support from the United Nations. The United Nations gave support for establishing the lab. They bought there was a lot of equipment that came in, and they also supported staff-wise. We had several people that came from various places in Europe. In fact, 2 of them are still here. They came as United Nations experts. That was their titles. Through the entire process of the United Nations, you know, they came with special passports and all of that, which was quite interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's a fun fact.
2 of them are still with us, working with the Water Authority.
Wow. No, you're celebrating 40 years. That's a long time, Miss Gelia.
Yeah, it's
a
weird.
long time. Yeah.
I've been working for 40 years in this industry, and that's kind of hard to think about.
And so you're planning, you have big time celebrations, right? Anniversary plans. So you had to set up a committee. So Edlyn and Kodie, you're part of that committee.
Yes, that's correct. We're the co-chairs. So we've got a good working team from staff across the company. So they're from varying departments. So it's really great because it means we get a variety of perspectives and representation too as well too. So we're making sure every department, every section has a role to play. And so the committee was formed quite a bit ago at this point now. We've been functioning for a while.
Last year, September,
yeah. And so when we were putting together our plans, because we wanted it to be a year-long celebration, and when we were putting it together, we came up with a couple of guiding principles that we wanted to make sure our celebrations followed, and that was community service. Community service has always been very important to the Water Authority, and so we wanted to make sure that was a big feature. We really wanted staff to have the opportunity to give back, to connect with our community. We also wanted to ensure we had employee recognition. As Ms. Gelia had mentioned, our staff is really the people who make the Water Authority the Water Authority. And like Ms. Gelia, we have a number of other staff members who have been with us for a very, very long time. So we wanted to ensure that we were especially recognizing those long-serving employees as well, who've very much been a part of the fabric and the history of the authority. And then the last thing we wanted to make sure we were focusing on was student education, particularly when it comes to STEM, because STEM is so critical to the work that we do at the authority. So we really wanted to take the opportunity to encourage and inspire the next generation of water professionals, because we really do need young people coming into the industry as well too. So those were kind of the key areas we wanted to make sure our celebrations were touching on. So everything that you're going to be seeing us do has some sort of connection to one of those guiding principles.
I'm looking at you and Kodie across the table. You're very young.
Thank you.
Ms. Gelia, I'm pretty sure you're proud of
very
your younger staff.
I am.
And the old ones too, but
well, of course, all of them.
Oh yeah,
I'm very proud of all of
yeah,
them.
But
and especially to Kodie and Edlyn have been really the solid rock behind this whole development of our celebrations for this year, and that's truly appreciated.
That's public appreciation there. Yes,
thank you.
Love it. Love it. Now you have a logo, Water Authority logo for it's a Ruby anniversary, right?
Yes, that's correct.
40th. Who designed it, and what is the theme for this logo?
So our logo was designed by our assistant lab manager, Mr. Jerry Banks, a fellow BRCA.
Jerry!
It encompasses several elements that we, obviously it has the 40, which was the 40 years, and then, as you may know, the ruby is I think it's applied to like 40th anniversaries, just the 40th year. So, and then he also encompassed the theme, which this year is Whack on Tap, which was, I guess, voted and decided by all of our staff. We had several themes that were selected, and we had a wide company vote for which one would be used, which implies the message that whack on tap, drink tap water.
Yeah, and it's a lovely logo. Love it. No, that drop of water, that should be a ruby, right? So everybody's going to get a ruby for this anniversary. I'm just kidding.
We dig for the treasure.
We can try to make it in our RO plans.
No, let's run down some of the events that are already taking place for the anniversary.
Yeah, so we kicked things off right away in January. So I think it was about mid-January. We had a special church service at the Red Bay Church of God Holiness. And it was actually broadcast by you all here at Radio Cayman, which we were very appreciative of. So thank you for that. And that was wonderful. The Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, our minister, was actually present, and she spoke as well and had some really lovely things to say about the authority, which we were very appreciative of. And then we also just were very grateful to the church itself. The members were so welcoming to the authority and to the staff, and so it was really quite a lovely way to kind of kickstart our celebrations. Just this past weekend, we had one of our major events for the year, which was the Women in Science Brunch. So we actually held it in conjunction with the United Nations International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Nice. And so we were inviting women who are established in that in those fields and those roles. We also had a number of young female STEM students as well who were attendees and participated. We had a special panel discussion. Some of the ladies who were on there were Miss Antoinette Johnson from Department of Environmental Health. We had Gina Ebanks-Petrie from the Cayman Islands Department of Environment, Carlene Singh from Cayman Water, Kristen Smith from the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, and Dr. Samantha Dorman from the Department of Agriculture. So they shared a lot about their experiences, and it was really, really well received. And then what I think ended up being a bit of the highlight of the day was a special youth panel. So we had
nice.
We had some young ladies who are DART scholars, also members of the National Robotics League as well too. And I think everyone kind of left really inspired hearing from them. Yes. So yeah, that's some of the features of the event, and I think it was a real success, and I think it was really well received.
Yes. We have a caller on the line, Sue? We have a caller, right? Yeah, we have a caller? We're going to take a break first. Okay, caller, if you could please hold the line for us. It's 29 minutes until 9 o'clock. Thanks to our sponsor of the Buzz this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot for the Red Dot Sale, only at Reflections. Clearance sale on men's and women's shoes. Nike, Reebok, Adidas, Puma, Dockers, and more. Limited styles available. Get yours before they're gone. Spot the Red Dot on any tagged item and receive up to 50% off. Ladies, save up to 50% off on clothing. Just in time to find your perfect Valentine's outfit or Valentine's gift with lingerie and personal massages at 10% off. Save on dresses, blouses, pants, and find even greater savings in our clearance baskets. Men, Spot the red dot on any tagged item and receive up to 50% off on brands like US Polo, Dockers, and 20% off on all gym apparel. Levi jeans starting at $34. There is something for everyone. Reflections Clothing Store located on Cheddar Road beside the Mango Tree across from Kirk Napa. Open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 to 9 p.m.
Add another 10% off at the Red Dot sale this week only at Reflections. Sale ends Saturday, February 18th.
You know what I love to do with my family? Go fishing. I can put the bait on and cast and reel the line all by myself. My mommy and daddy say when they were little, there were plenty more fish to catch, but now there are lots more people fishing, so it's harder to find them. That's why we have marine parks now. They set some areas aside so the fish there can have babies and grow bigger. Then they swim out to other areas where I can catch them. Having the marine parks means there will still be fish there when I'm grown up and fishing with a family of my own.
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Business Boss. Business Boss with your host, Anita Khan.
You are listening to the Business Buzz. We have in the studio joining us this morning Dr. Gelia Frederick van Genderen. She's the director of the Water Authority-Cayman. Kodie Scott Sr. He looks like a junior, but he's senior, and he's a development control technologist and the 40th Anniversary Committee co-chair, and Edlyn Ruiz Stoll. She's the Corporate Communications Officer at the Water Authority, and she's also on that 40th Anniversary Committee. She's also a co-chair. Good morning again. And we have a caller on the line. So, caller, good morning.
Good morning, Anita. Good morning to your guest.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very, especially Miss Gelia.
Hi.
I see she's fondly known as Miss Gelia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A very humble lady.
Yes, she is. You've got a question for them?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. It's pertaining to the BRAC.
Okay.
I hear now that they're connecting people up there, but I own a piece of property just west of, well, the road right beside Tibbetts Enterprise on the, you facing Tibbetts Enterprise on the left-hand side. No, I would say it's about 200 feet up on that road.
Okay.
I would, and water could get to there.
Oh, is that on the bluff?
Just on the lower end. This is more toward the west end, where Tibbetts Enterprise is.
Oh, okay. So, mainly we're heading straight towards Spot Bay right now.
Right, I seen that.
Yeah. So once we're finished and we reach Spot Bay, then we're going to go up towards the bluff.
Yeah, but start from the lower end, start from west end.
Okay, we'll certainly keep that in mind. But we definitely, it's, the process of getting a piped water supply for our BRAC customers, it has taken a while, but we are working very hard on it, and hoping to get to Spot Bay fairly, within this year, and then we have to make some other plans.
So you all are doing a fantastic job up there.
Thank you.
Is it Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's Jeffrey.
Yeah, I know him from way back.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. Have a good one today.
Thank you.
So let's talk about agriculture show that's coming up next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Will Water Authority be there?
We will. We will have a presence there this year. We're actually really looking forward to it because it's been a while since we've had the chance to participate. So we're happy to be there again this year. In terms of what people will get to see and participate in, we're really focused on two things. One is celebrating our 40th anniversary, so we're going to have some special games that people can participate in and test their knowledge about the history of the Authority and the work of the Authority. Yes, so please, I hope you were paying attention. And so people will get a chance to win a prize while participating in that. And then, of course, we're going to be focusing on what we do every day, which is producing great water. So we'll have some infused water there for people to sample as well too. So and then a chance to meet and interact with our staff as well too.
Very nice, very nice. Now, what are some of the other projects or events that the two of you especially are planning for the 40th anniversary for the rest of the year?
So,
we're still young in the year, so there's got to be a lot more events, right?
Yeah,
Lots of
we
stuff
have
coming
a
up.
year-filled calendar events. They mostly follow those three guiding principles that Edlyn was discussing, which are the community service, the employee recognition, and the student education, especially in the STEM fields. So we have quite a bit of customer appreciation events that will be coming throughout the year. And I think the biggest one pretty much after the agriculture is recognizing our employees, which are long-standing, which have been there more than 35 years, which is pretty much almost the inception of 40 years. So another big one, which I'm really proud of, is we're upgrading the Caymanian High School science labs. I'm originally from there, so that's like
Rebecca.
Yeah, so,
You know Miss Susan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She's one of the famous Bracas, so you know. Okay.
And the Water Authority always does its best with giving back to the community. So we are looking at various community service projects, which I don't think we want to say on air right now, but we have quite a bit of stuff that will be coming, which you'll definitely see throughout the year. One that we will, I guess, disclose today is that we're basically giving all of the primary schools water bottle filling stations, and we're going to give them bottles as well.
So that's a government primary school.
Government primary schools. In Caymanian as well? Or?
Yes,
okay.
including Caymanian. Yes, Caymanian, definitely.
Yeah, and then lastly, later on at the end of this year, we're going to have a big gala for all of our staff.
Yeah.
So then also the customer appreciation events, and we'll do a couple of those. And we have on the 18th of April. That's actually the day that the legislation was enacted. So that's going to be a special day that we recognize. And we had the first Water Authority Board meeting was in June 1983. So with a proper established board. So we will probably recognize that somehow as well.
That's a good question for you. Trivia.
Oh,
It is, yeah.
I hope everyone was listening.
Should write
the
down
first.
Write it down.
Oh, yeah. 1983? Yeah, I wrote that down too.
And who was the first director?
Who was the first director?
Richard Beswick.
Mr. Beswick, great.
Yeah.
And how many directors we've had?
Yes, that's another good one. We're giving
away everything.
Yeah.
You can count them on your finger.
Yep.
That's correct.
One hand.
That is correct.
Just one hand. Now, can you share some more about the future plans for Water Authority-Cayman?
Okay. All right. Well,
everybody's looking at Miss Gelia.
Yeah, no problem. Of course, with the amount of development that Cayman is seeing, we have to also keep up with that to ensure that we have enough water. We are managing wastewater, especially for both, Grand Cayman and Caymanian. We have two major projects that we have that are in action or in construction right now. We have at the Red Gate Waterworks site, which is our main site in Grand Cayman. Excuse me. We have a new RO plant that's under construction. That is, I think it's 10,000 cubic meters per day production capacity. And if somebody wants to calculate that into a million gallons
Don't
per
look
day,
at me.
You can multiply it by 2.64.
Yeah, that's like 2.6 million gallons a day.
2.6 million gallons. This is a good question, too.
Yeah, so that is actually quite excited now because I can see it, when I come in and it's going to the second floor already. It's quite an impressive building.
Quite quick, yeah.
Yeah, it is really going up.
It's really going up. And we expect that should be operational by the end of November this year. Then the other project that we have is in Northside, at our Northside Waterworks site, which is 2 new storage reservoirs.
Okay.
And that is, they're 3 million gallons.
Yeah, they'll essentially take us from 17 million storage capacity to 23 million gallons.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are 2 simultaneously that are being
never
built.
be out of water.
No, we hope not. But we have to keep going. I mean, that's the thing. And
the population is growing, so
we know, and so we look to the future because there are other projects that are coming on. We will have to. Look at, for instance, we have property in Rum Point where we plan to put a storage and repumping facility. So it won't be any production there, but it's basically on that side of the island because it's a long strip of road. If we have breaks or issues at the north side facility, it means that a long stretch, a lot of customers will be out of service. And it's also for part of our resilience in terms of being prepared for hurricanes or other types of disasters.
Most people don't know how we get our water, how the water reaches to the tap.
Okay.
In a nutshell, can you?
Okay, I'll do it in a nutshell. Well, it comes out of the ground. It's salty. It goes through a reverse osmosis process, which separates some of the salt and we take out the fresh water, and then we make sure it's treated with a disinfectant, a corrosion inhibitor, and a pH stabilizer. Then it goes in a big storage reservoir, and then we pump it out. That's it.
That's it.
You turn on the tap and you got water.
That's painting a good picture.
Sorry, you said it in a nutshell.
Yeah, on how I get my water. If someone wants to take a tour of the Water Authority, can you set that up?
Yeah, we do.
Do you do individual tours as well as group tours?
We do more so groups, particularly for students, for schools, educational tours. So they can email us. Well, my email's quite long, so I'll say email info@waterauthority.ky, and they will get it to me, and we do our best to accommodate as many groups as we can. But yeah, we definitely do. We do provide tours because we want people to know what the process is. We want them to understand what it is that we do.
Right? Okay.
Not in a nutshell. We get into a little more detail.
It's a lot of very visual. But I mean, one of the things we have planned for this year is actually to do a video tours. So those would be actually available on our website.
Nice.
So for people who are wherever and they're interested, they can get a very good idea of how we deal with water production and also our wastewater treatment process.
Yeah, so something that people can reference back, is particularly for teachers. We're hoping it'll be a really good resource for them as well.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
We give you honor and praise.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my faith. Rock my soul in the blues of my faith.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
Happy 40th anniversary to Water Authority-Cayman. Big number. Miss Gelia, we're going to hopefully, on the 50th, we're going to have a huge celebration.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll be around at that time. But,
no, we're not ready to retire you yet. You still got work to do.
Yes.
You still got some long-term goals.
Yes, we still got a lot of stuff out there to do, yes.
And speaking of long-term goals, what do we have in mind?
Well, actually, when the caller just
Right.
spoke
The bluff.
about the bluff and getting water up there, we have property there, and we have plans for a facility there that will, serve Cayman Brac for the long term. Which the current location is actually a bit vulnerable where it is. It's quite low, and it was a dugout quarry that we're currently in West End. So the plans are to put a large facility on the bluff that will have treatment, storage, production, as well as our administrative offices. And of course, we haven't forgotten Little Cayman, because we also have property there, which I think it's near the Public Works facility in Little Cayman. And we will establish a water production and storage there. But because the Brac population is not, so large, that facility will be a trucking facility, which will be kind of like how Cayman Brac started out in 1991. Yeah.
How can we get more details and to keep up to date with Water Authority? Let me throw this to Edlyn.
Yeah, there are several ways. First and foremost, visiting our website, www.waterauthority.ky. We've got lots of information there. Also, just in general, if you're a customer, you need some assistance, you can look there as well, too. So that's a great resource. We also encourage everyone to follow our social media pages. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn as well. So you can find updates there as well, too. Certainly about the 40th anniversary, but also just general notifications as well. Thinking about hurricane season coming up, we'll have important messages there as well. So yeah, those are some of the key places that you can keep up to date with us. And then, of course, listening to Radio Cayman, because we do put a lot of notices out there for our customers as well too, via this channel. So
And I'm sure they appreciate that.
Well, I know they hear it because people always tell me, I heard your voice. So I know they're hearing it.
Yeah, they did. I heard you this morning. And also our scholarship.
Oh yes. That's something we're really proud of. We do offer an annual scholarship. It's actually open right now. So that's get your applications in. They're due at the end of the month, the 28th. So there's still some time. Again, visit our website, waterauthority.ky. You'll actually see on the front page there's going to be a banner that links you to the page where you can find the information. You can apply online as well too. And yeah, we've got also what's going to be coming up after the scholarship period ends is applications for our summer internship program as well too. So if you know somebody who's, I think, over the age of 14 and over is the time frame. So again, that information will be on our website too, and you'll see it on our social media pages. So
is that a 4-year scholarship?
Yes, it is.
For bachelor's.
For a bachelor's degree,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
35,000 CI per year.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And you only offer one per year?
Well, we have
per year.
actually in the past, offered two.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's get all those great candidates out there that are aspiring engineers and scientists, apply for a scholarship. The Water Authority is a great place to work. We provide a very essential service. You have a lot of personal satisfaction in being, to know that you're contributing to such an important service to the people of the Cayman Islands.
That's right. Now, you're the communications officer.
Yes.
And Kodie, you're not a senior. You're the senior. A comma can make such a difference. You are the senior development control technologist.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and you're both very young. I think it's an awesome opportunity for both of you to be working with such an esteemed company as the Water Authority-Cayman.
I agree.
I agree completely. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good place to work, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of opportunities for self-growth. And like Dr. G said, it's just you feel a fulfillment that you're giving an essential service to the community.
And Ms. Gelia, I told you the 1 year that I stayed with you as your first Freedom of Information
F1
Manager.
Yep. Yes.
I started the day the law was implemented.
Yes.
Took off running, but I think I ran very well.
Yes, you did very well. You did very well.
It was a nice year. It was. Sometimes I'm like, why did I leave?
Yeah.
But it depends on your your interest or what you want to do. But it's good to see you employ young Caymanians, and keep it going. And the scholarship offerings and internship. How does internship work? Is that summer internship?
It is a summer internship. The period is usually from June to August. How long each student participate is really kind of dependent on availability of spots as well as what they also have to offer. But essentially what happens is the students will fill out an application form. They get the opportunity to request being in different departments and sections, and then our team will do their very best to kind of link those students to their area.
So you can do customer service as well as...
That's right, yes.
Even HR.
Our engineering services, the lab. Yeah, that one's a really
popular.
It's a very popular one.
We can't accommodate all of them each year, which is sad, but
But we've also had students who've kind of not been sure, and so they end up in a section that that needs some assistance, and they found it to be really interesting, and they walk away really surprised, not even knowing that this was a job that was available. So it's usually a really good experience for the interns. That's going to be opening up very soon. So again, check our website. You'll find the information there.
And then you have On Tap. I love On Tap. What's On Tap?
What's On Tap? Our newsletter. Yes.
Newsletter.
Yes.
It comes with my bill. And that's the first thing. Before I go to the bill, I'm like, I don't want to see the bill yet. I go to What's On Tap. And it's colorful. It's always, I'm like, oh, there's Pat.
You'll see it. It's the quarter one issue is coming out with this coming bill. So you'll see that soon if you haven't yet.
Edlyn does a great job with that.
Thank you.
Good job, Edlyn.
Yeah, Thank you very much.
That's what Miss Gelia hire you. Before we let you go, anything else you want to cover this morning that we haven't touched on, Miss Gelia?
There's so much to talk about. I think we need to come back.
Susan, you hear that? Pencil it in. Susan give you 2 thumbs up, so you definitely pencil in. But I'd like to say congratulations to Water Authority, 40 years, going strong, and keeping us in with clean water, good water, the best water. There's no smell from my tap. I can go on and on. The best water in the Caribbean, in the region. But I just want to say congratulations, and we look forward to everything that you have planned for the rest of the year with regards to the anniversary. And if there's anything that we can do on this end to help, we will be happy to do so. Any closing words from you, Ms. Gelia?
I just want to say thank you very much, Anita, for the Business Buzz and Radio Cayman for being partners with us for
you.
so many years. Thank you for the opportunity, that we could come and share a little bit with the public about what we're planning for this year. And I want to also thank my able staff here who are shining bright. And to say thank you to all our staff and our customers. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Edlyn.
Oh, I guess just really echoing what Dr. G just said. Thank you for the opportunity for being here and sharing a bit more about our 40th anniversary. And thank you to our customers and thank you to the listeners for taking part today.
Kodie.
Yeah, I mean, just basically following up with what Edlyn and Dr. G said is thank you again, Radio Cayman, for allowing us this opportunity. And we hope to be back here soon because we have a lot of
I love it. I love it. You're welcome back anytime. Thank you so very much. Thanks to our sponsor this morning, Cayman Insurance Center. Thanks to Miss Susan for putting this all together. Thank you, Miss Susan. Susan does a good job, whether she's on vacation, whether she's on the beach, she's working on the buzz.
Working all the time.
That's the truth.
Susan.
That's the truth. And of course, thanks to all our listeners, our YouTube viewers, and our caller this morning, Jeffrey. Thank you. And until Tuesday, February 21st, that's almost the end of the month, when we bring in other business buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe. From me, Anita Khan, your host, thank you and goodbye.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.